We're back, and once again, we have so much to talk about. The girls are stealing Matt's heart, Matt can't be trusted, and Queen Victoria is being a royal But before we find out why the girls are ganging up on poor Sarah, this is your Bachelor recap. Before the second episode even starts, we get a clip of Sarah on the floor saying she's gonna pass out. You guys, they've only known Matt for like a week. How is this happening already? We need to rewind. Okay, here we are. Let's get to the good stuff. Bree gets the first date and they had a pretty wild time. Note to self, don't trust Matt. Their night portion of the date showed how many similarities they have. Bree opens up about being raised by a single mother and how not having her father affected her. Their whole conversation sounded so much like Matt's background, and I'm predicting she's gonna make the top 4. Meanwhile, at the chateau, Queen Victoria is
being an idiot,
and the girls really don't want her on the group date. The girls hear the classic end to a date fireworks and go check it out, and here comes Victoria to make it all about herself. Somehow the conversation went from talking about being upset for not getting time with Matt to her sleeping on the couch because Marilyn was supposedly rude. I have no idea how we got from point A to point B, but poor Marilyn has no idea what happens when you piss off the queen. This episode was heavy on Victoria, so I was happy to finally get to the group date and away from her drama for a second. In classic Bachelor fashion, the girls and Matt took some wedding photos, but Chris Harrison cuts the date short by inviting the girls to play a game. Capture the flag with a twist. Capture Matt's heart by any means necessary. These girls are fighters.
That's killing. What? This is fantastic.
MJ saves the day and captures Matt's heart, and everyone's happy except...
And the one thing that we were all looking forward to and that was motivating us was this evening date with him.
While Katie and Rachel are busy crying, Lauren finally gets to chat with Matt about wanting to marry a man of faith.
Because my dad's always told me the key to his marriage with my mom and how long it is and how perfect and beautiful it is to keep God first.
I like that.
Which Matt loved so much, he ended up giving her the group date rose. Next up is Sarah. She gets a second one-on-one date and they soar through the sky and end up in the woods. Where Matt starts asking more about her family, but he's not really getting anywhere. So during the night portion, Matt tries to get some more answers and Sarah actually opens up.
When I was in college, our family started noticing some changes with my dad's health and his behavior, and we weren't really sure, what was going on. And he was diagnosed with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. It's the same disease Stephen Hawking had, where mentally you're completely the same person, but you slowly lose the ability to speak and to walk and to talk and to do any sort of normal function. There is no cure to it, and the life expectancy is 2 to 5 years. Watching him trying to grapple with this disease as it progressed and not being able to express himself or to speak and losing the ability to talk and his voice changing over time, it was just unimaginable.
I can't imagine.
Of course, after hearing this, Matt would be out of his mind if he didn't give Sarah a rose. So back at the mansion is the cocktail party, and some of these girls barely had any time with Matt this week. Marilyn is feeling super insecure, and he just pulled out her favorite flower like it's nothing, but Marilyn got a little too happy over an orchid when she really needed a rose. Victoria tells Matt about the drama in the house, and of course it seems that he believes the noble and honest Victoria. Now we're back to the beginning during the rose ceremony where Sarah collapsed. This is when episode 3's drama begins. Matt the EMT rushed to Sarah's side after she fainted. All of this commotion, I literally almost forgot about Marilyn and Victoria's beef. Matt picks Victoria, but honestly, we all knew that was gonna happen. Now we're down another 4 ladies: Alana, Ileana, Kristen, and now Marilyn. I feel like 98% of Matt's decision was based off of pure connection, but unfortunately, the added 2% of Victoria's beef was what pushed Matt to send her home. I honestly can't wait for the women's tell-all because we all saw that situation so differently than how Victoria told it. Now we have a very sexy group day where our surprise guest Ashley Iaconetti reads off a risque passage from Chris Harrison's book. Apparently, Chris Harrison writes erotic novels. I literally never knew that. Even his girlfriend Lauren Zima never knew that. He's never promoted this book once. But anyways, the girls now have to write and share a love scene that they want to experience with Matt. I would literally die if I had to do this. These ladies were all talk about being nervous and not expressing themselves, but no one held back. After all of the erotica, they have a cocktail night, and that's where all of the drama commences. Katie is so excited for her time with Matt, and then Sarah comes out of nowhere and steals him. She is pissed, so of course Victoria uses this moment to encourage Katie to steal back her time with Matt. She did not budge at all. The whole thing was completely awkward because I felt like Matt should have just told Sarah he'd find her later. It wasn't fair to those girls, but instead he said nothing. Sarah knew she pissed off the girls and decided to apologize, but that did not go in her favor. In the end, Rachel got the group date rose, and the girls were upset they didn't get any time. Why Rachel? Probably just to get out of there. Serena P is going on her first one-on-one date, but before they go, Matt has to check up on Sarah, who was in the same state of mind as she was the day before. This pisses off the girls. Again. They're mad she's hiding in her room, but then they say they're so angry that they don't even want to bother with her. Makes sense, right? Serena and Matt ride horses and make charcuterie. They talk about how they both felt like their families wanted them to go on a certain path, but they decided to break the norm. I think they're better as friends though. I really don't see it at all. But apparently they do. Serena tells him that she's falling in like with him and can see herself marrying him, and he loved that enough for her to earn a rose. I don't see this connection, but it's so weird because we don't know Matt, so it's a mystery on who he's connecting with and why. The girls are pissed Sarah's been avoiding them, but of course, knock knock, she tries to sneakily come down when they read off who gets the next date. The girls straight up, mean girl style, bully Sarah, and she can't take it anymore.
I don't even think you took Matt's feelings into account when you were doing what you were doing.
I definitely did that.
Yeah, you were trying to make him feel some type of way about you, like make him feel bad for you or something.
You can say you wanted him to make you stay. Like, that's fine. We all would understand that, but just say it.
Yeah, just say you needed his validation and you thought you were more important than everyone else's time.
And honestly, that was really hard to watch. I know the girls didn't know her personal issues, but to have all of those women be so cruel and then say,
the rest of your living situation here is going to be horrible.
I leave in a heartbeat too. Sarah's crying in her room and Katie comes in to check on her. She tells her of her father's condition, which turns into a genuine girl talk moment where Katie shares how her dad passed and she wishes she had more time.
My dad passed away in 2012. So I 100% encourage you to be with him. If I could get back the minutes I had with him.
Yeah, that's weighing on my heart.
She encourages Sarah to be with her dad, and it was definitely in a sincere way. Not in a gotta get rid of the competition way. Sarah tells Matt she's gotta go, and it was pretty emotional.
I don't want to lose you.
This is so hard. Thank you for saying all of that. I've prayed about this and I've thought about it, and I just feel really called to go home and be with my family. I just don't think I'm ready for this.
I feel for Sarah. She's a young woman and she deserves to find love just like everybody else. This was a super sad goodbye, but I'm sure there will be plenty of more sad goodbyes this season. After Sarah leaves, we get a preview of next episode. If the girls thought that Sarah shook things up by taking 10 minutes of Matt's time, wait for their reaction when 5 more women show up at the chateau. It's going to be insane. What do you guys think about all this drama? Was Victoria wrong to snitch on Marilyn? Was Sarah wrong for interrupting the group date? And should Matt ever be allowed to drive a quad again? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to follow the Batch Recap for more updates on all things Batch.